This is Take a Cue, Season 2, Episode 15.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to Season 2 of Take a Cue. I'm Erik Donough, 8th grade band and jazz band director.
And I'm Jen Wise, 4th and 5th grade instrumental music teacher.
We are two veteran educators with over 35 or maybe 37 years of experience teaching music in New Jersey public schools between the two of us, and we're excited to bring teaching experiences and insights to you.
So excited. Whether you're just starting out in your teaching career or you've been teaching longer than we have, this show will help you grow with new ideas and perspectives about music education and teaching.
We hope you'll be just as inspired as we are every time you listen. Before we begin, if you enjoy our podcast, please help us out by doing a few super easy things.
First, subscribe on your favorite podcast app.
Then make sure you rate the podcast and leave a review.
It helps people find our show who haven't yet, and we really appreciate it.
If you find that you get a lot out of our episodes, we'd be grateful if you considered becoming a monthly supporter to help us grow the podcast.
You can sign up to make a secure monthly payment using the link in our show notes or on our Spotify for Podcasters site.
Also, if you have questions or comments about anything you hear on the episode, come and interact with us on social media. We're Take a Cue Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
We did it.
We made it.
We made it to the finish line. We finished our school year. I feel like we need the Rocky
Jen.
theme in the background, and cheers.
Cheers. Here's some iced coffee.
There you go.
Raised to you.
Mm-hmm. And recording in the daytime because we're home on summer vacation. Woo! This is the best. Yeah.
So Jen, how was the end of the school year? I think the last time we talked was like in April. Now it's currently the end of June.
Yeah. It was the end of the school year went by really fast. It just we just spiraled into spring concerts and signing up the third graders for next year, and promotion ceremonies, and then all here we are. So the last week of June.
We made it.
Yeah,
so,
we did.
So last time we were here, we were about to get into concert season.
Yes.
And I know our audience may be wondering where we've been. I'll chat about that in a little bit. But, we've had a little bit of time now between the end of April and the end of June. And so a lot has happened in that 2-month time period. So, Jen, let's start with concerts. How did the concerts go?
Oh, we had a great time. Everything came together, and last time we talked a lot about like what we were playing and our rep and everything. And it was balanced. It really came together. I think the orchestra had some nice moments. We ended up, with some beats we made on GarageBand, and that was cool, and that came out really nicely. And rave reviews all over the papers. Everybody loved it. So
all over the papers.
Nice. But it went very well. So
amazing. I mean, I'd be surprised if you told me everything crashed and burned, but with elementary kids, there's always that little bit of trepidation, I guess, but I know you're awesome, and your kids just always sound great. So
I mean,
I'm not surprised that things went well.
Yeah, it was good. It was, for as big of an event as it is, it was kind of an uneventful concert season. We came, we played. It was, everybody had a great experience, I think, and looking forward to the next round. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice. And it's good to put that, behind you and, kind of move to the summer now. But
yeah, I know. And for the beginners, it's like, okay, we did our first year. We have those milestones and, our first 2 concerts under our belt. And it's kind of one of those onward and upward things. After the concert, I had the usual, dozen kids, I want to switch to percussion. And I'm like, no, you don't. So,
no, you can't.
No, you may not. We've been doing some switching of instruments before next year, and I've got 3 or 4 baritone players lined up for next year. Three girls that did very well with their instruments this year, but kind of wanted something else, and I they happened to be all in the room at the same time and best friends and the whole thing. And I handed them French horns and they were like, this is great. So yeah, I'm starting 3 French horn players next year. So that should be good. Second year students. So
they'll be going into 5th grade or 6th grade next year?
5th grade. They'll be going into 5th grade. So, but like I said, they did very well with their instruments this year. Great. They all have a great year, and I'm sure it's going to be fun. So
awesome.
Yeah, but so that was good. And your concerts went well?
We only had one school concert. Ha ha ha. Lucky me. Jen's got 3.
That's
two.
Right. Two. Yeah.
And we had one school concert, which was at the beginning of May, which is a little earlier, about 2 or 3 weeks earlier than usual.
Yeah.
So we actually, Brendan and I cut down our program by 1 piece each. So my group did 3, his group did 3 pieces. Our jazz bands each did, I want to say 2. And that was that.
Okay.
It did make for a shorter concert, which nobody was sad about.
Okay.
But we wanted to make sure that we weren't over programming for the shorter amount of time that we had.
Yeah, sure.
And I think it went really well. This particular 8th grade group is definitely one of the higher level groups that I've had in the many years that I've been teaching middle school groups. And so we were able to play some pretty neat music. I think we talked about it on the last podcast episode, and they worked. They did really well. Max, my student teacher, did come back and conduct the concert, even though he had finished. No, he hadn't finished yet. He finished right after the concert. That was it. So he came and did a great job on stage. The kids made a really nice card for him. It was a big card, like we're talking like, 1.5 foot card.
Oh, wow.
Where somebody actually drew him playing the marimba with fun sunglasses on and had that on the front. And then on the inside were a bunch of funny memes that they made about him.
Oh,
and
cute.
Everybody in the band signed the card. And this had nothing to do with me. This was all kids, decided to do that, which was really nice. And so that went really well. He conducted very well. And then, and we worked well this year. So it was nice to have my first student teacher. What's that?
That's right. Yeah. Is he all settled? Does he knows where he's going to be next year? And
yes, before he left Heritage, he already had a job lined up, which was amazing.
Awesome.
So he's going to be teaching, I think middle school general music, might be elementary and middle school in Bergen County. So so that's great. I'm really happy that he was able to do that. And I think he's going to be great. I've got another student teacher lined up already for next year. Another percussionist.
Oh, wow. Nice.
From Montclair. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
that's exciting.
So that'll be fun. That'll be fun. But it was a good end of the year concert. But then we had our Dorney, which was our Dorney trip, which was the second concert for May. And Max did come back for the trip and came and conducted a great locomotive chase at Dorney as well. And
that was so good.
Judges were really impressed. We got some really nice commentary from our 2 judges there in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
And I got to go. I'll tell you what, the band sounded great. That was so much fun. Yeah.
Thanks, Jen. I always try to take as many band directors as I can with chaperones because you guys know how to move stuff.
Yes.
And kids.
Yes, we do. And kids and fix instruments and, little of everything. So that's a great trip. It was a really good day. Everybody, I think the 8th graders get like, that's something nice to look forward at the end of the year. So
yes.
Cool.
Maybe we'll do an episode one of these years on running a trip. I've never done an overnight. I know that's a different animal.
Yeah.
But at least a day trip, we can talk about experiences that we've had.
Sure.
But that's for another day.
That's for another day.
but yeah, it was a really fun time. And then Jen, we got into demos.
Oh yeah, instrument demos. Oh man. So Erik demonstrated the oboe and the clarinet. And I have to say I have a healthy number of both coming in next year.
What's healthy oboe numbers?
Actually, one school I have 3 oboists starting in September, and the other I have none. So healthy. That's healthy enough for me.
When they get up to middle school, that'll be healthy.
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's like with 6 elementary schools. having 3 in every school is, well, it turns into what what your band is now, right? Is
Yeah,
it
right.
your group that has 5
I
or
have
6
six oboes in 8th grade this year.
Yep. Yeah. So, there it is. And that's a fun day, and or fun couple of days. So we
And
did
Jen
our
demonstrates the flute and the trombone,
and the trombone. Yep.
and does an amazing job on both, getting those kids excited. Excuse me.
Excited. Yeah. So for as few oboes as I have at Riker Hill, I had 30 sign up for flute as their first choice.
Whoa.
So we had, about 20, I don't want to say disappointed students, because they got one of their 2 choices of instruments, but I had to tell 20 kids, like, no, you can't have the flute. So
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? It would be like a fife and drum corps.
Yeah, right. The band would be like tweet tweet. So I know, it's like I had to cut that one down a little bit.
Hopefully their second choice was all like trombone and baritone. Yeah.
Somewhat. I know that was the thing. It's like, dirty little secrets of assigning instruments. Like the ones that picked flute and violin, well, I kind of sort of gave a lot of them flute because, I wanted to keep them in the band and keep the band balanced and everything. And we also had 30 kids sign up for violin already as their first choice. Like it's 4 4th grades at that school for next year. So we're going to have the biggest band and orchestra we've ever had at that school. We had plenty of kids sign up for orchestra too. So it's just, it really was truly to balance the ensemble. So
yeah. Well, good. I'm glad it was successful. Doing those demos. It's always fun to try to balance a group.
Definitely.
We don't do for our listeners who may not know this, we don't do an instrument petting zoo or anything like that. So it's kind of just like, here are the instruments, make your top 3 or top 2 choices. And then we kind of or you guys assign the instruments.
Oh yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. It's good. It seems to work out. And at the end of the first year, I'm always open to switching kids if they feel like they're on, in the wrong place. But, for now, we'll see how we do with 20 flutes, next year. 10.
Yes.
What did I keep? Like 12 or something, 2 groups of 6, I think I kept. So, yeah. But
yeah, so it's a good, it's good to do those demos. Nice to see those 3rd graders. I always tell my 8th graders that like my favorite time of year is demos because it's always the best, most excited audience I get to play in front of all year.
It's pretty true. They're like, yeah, that's the clarinet, No, they're really into it. So that was good. We had some good conversations about next year. At the end of the year by me. We do our end of the year evaluations. I get to sit down with our supervisor, and a big issue. We maybe touched on this a little bit in our percussion episode, but big issue for us is that again with 6 elementary schools, if we each have 4, 5, 6, 8 percussionists in our own school, all of a sudden the 6th grade school gets 32 percussionists next year, it ends up being pretty overwhelming for her. And so a big conversation for me during my end of the year evaluation, meeting was like, I don't know if I can promise to send, less percussionists to Jenny at the 6th grade school. I don't know if I can send less kids, but I know I can send her better prepared kids. So I said for next year, for September, like I want to do some percussion PD. I want to really consider what, our percussion expert, Rick Fitzke said in our percussion episode, and, see how I can send some better prepared kids to the middle school, because, I do have 8 kids every year drawn to percussion. And I want, I just want them to be better prepared for her. So, she's going to have the biggest numbers she's ever had coming to the middle school next year, which is great. So, she's really looking at how she's going to, kind of set up her ensembles to fit that. And, you guys are seeing some growing pains too. And, it's good growing pains, the good kind. So
I've got around 70 coming up, and which is about what I had this year. Okay. And Brendan has like over 100 coming up, which is the biggest he's ever had. So we're trying to figure it out and figure out how we make that work at the middle school level, but we'll get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
So that was a conversation I was kind of excited about because I'm like, okay, it's going to go in my PDP, and everything. Like that's going to be a big thing for me next year. So really looking at what I do with my percussionist. So yeah.
You mentioned in our show notes here, new admin. What's going on there?
So, guys, you can cry with me. I know I let it slip a few episodes ago that I do have a former band director principal, and he is moving on. So he's going to be superintendent in one of our neighboring districts, and I'm very excited for him. He should have all the best things in the world. But I'm looking at, we're going to have a new administrator in one of my schools, and it's not Justin, and I'm sad. I'm sad. That transition is always, is always something. So especially since that's the building I don't technically have a room in right now, and I'm teaching on the stage for all my band stuff, and I have a lot, like that's the school I was talking about where we have 4 homerooms and of 4th graders. It's just, I feel like it's important, that school has a lot of support, and I'm sure we're going to get someone wonderful because we always have wonderful administrators in Livingston. But it's that transition's always a thing. So
yeah. Well, I wish you luck with that. I know Justin was sometimes you never know. You could get an administrator who was a former band director who comes in and tries to micromanage everything and tells you all the stuff that you need to do differently and all that. But it sounds to me like this was not the case.
That was not the case
with your principal. So
no. So, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I'm sure I'll have plenty to share in September but
look forward to seeing who comes into that position. I know Justin was a really good fit for you and for your program, and I know worked with you well. So I really enjoyed the few times that I got to chat with him too.
Yeah,
it was really nice when the high school did their annual dinner dance for the jazz bands. Justin was there. Justin came to see the high schoolers at their jazz band dinner dance, which I thought was really cool because he doesn't even know those kids. Those kids were not in his elementary school because he, joined the team after they already had gone through. So he really didn't know any of those kids. What's that?
Yeah, he was there. He's been with us 5 years, and you're right. He doesn't know anyone. He goes to, the high school musical. He goes to the,
then he might have known maybe the freshmen.
Maybe a few
from Riker Hill.
Yeah.
But he goes to stuff that's not even at his own school.
I know.
Which
so
is cool.
Yeah. And he will be missed. But like we said, he's in a neighboring district and he's still out there playing. So that's cool. Well, I'm sure our paths will all cross again. And So,
and he's going to be a superintendent now.
I know. That's so cool. It's really exciting for him. So,
good for him.
Yeah. For him.
Not something I would want to do, but if that's what he wants to do, good for him.
Yeah, definitely. So, that's a big one.
So is there anything else that we're missing here from the end of the school year? I know we haven't really talked about what we got going on over the summer and all that craziness, but did we miss anything here at the end of the school year?
I don't know. We had a rockin' music department end of the year party.
Oh, yes. Oh, how could we forget? Jen.
How could we forget? Oh, it was really fun.
The reason Jen says that, of course, is because she put on this amazing end of the year dinner for the music department.
It was really fun. And we had, it's a special year. We had 2 retirements, beloved teachers from the high school retiring this year, the Seminices, Nancy and Amadeo. And, we really had to do something special. But we had to do it right. We had a bunch of retirees come back and, say a few things, and it was really fun. So so that was another big end of the year wrap up thing for us. But
Amadeo is my 4th grade band director. I think maybe his first year in Livingston was my 4th grade band director. I still remember getting up, and I tell him this story because I don't know if he remembers it, but I certainly remember it. And that was getting to play the Locomotion as a solo on saxophone with him playing piano at the concert.
Oh,
Yeah.
you were really cool. That's awesome.
I was the coolest.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's great.
I went from playing the locomotion to playing Glazunov. I don't know if that's an up or a down. I don't know how that
Yeah,
works.
right. Oh my goodness. Well, speaking of Glazunov, we're doing a Glazunov piece in the Essex County Summer Players Orchestra. So,
Nice.
yeah, so I'll be playing with them this summer.
Oh yeah, tell me about
And
that. Let's go
yeah,
into some personal plans. I want to
okay,
hear what's
yeah.
going on in Jen's
Sorry,
world. What are
I
you
hope that
doing?
transitions are right. Yeah, so
That was amazing.
thank you.
It was almost like you planned it.
We did not plan that, but yeah, I'm very excited about that. We're rehearsing once a week. Really good players, really fine wind players, and a new conductor, for me. So yeah, it's a local group. It is pay to play because we need rehearsal space, and in the summer that's hard to come by.
Okay.
Yeah, and the flute section, I'm playing with some people I played with in New Jersey Wind Symphony, and they're awesome, and it's going to be so cool. So,
Where's that based?
It's going to be at the Livingston High School Orchestra Room.
Oh, perfect.
Yep. And the concert's the first weekend in August, and it's going to be on the stage at Livingston High School. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, nice and local, and yeah, like I said, really fine musicians in the wind section. Excited to get to know them better, and nice rep, some Tchaikovsky or Spiki. It's good. It's going to be a nice program. So
Yeah, not taking it easy, it sounds like.
no. The principal for the summer, Tamami, I do appreciate her. She's kind of rotating parts a bit. So, I mean, we're playing musical chairs during the concert, but I get to play. I'm playing a little piccolo. I'm playing a little first. I'm playing a little second. So it's great. And like when she invited me to come play, Tom was like, is this something you want to do, the summer band thing? And I'm like, honestly, like of course I love playing in a concert band, especially in the summer. You play all the town green and outside concerts and all that. And that's so important. But like, I really love playing orchestral rep, and I really love playing that role, in the flute section. So anytime I can do it, like I said, even when it is pay to play and everything, I want to do it. So
nice.
Yeah. And how about you? Are you playing a bit this summer? I know you mentioned when we talked a while ago, T-Neck Band. Is that still happening?
Well, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, one of the reasons that we had a little delay in this particular episode was there was a lot of stuff that came up all at once, and took a lot of my time over the last month or so. Unfortunately, that does mean also it's that some of the experiences that I was planning on this summer are going to have to be tabled, at least for this particular summer. So I'm not going to be doing the Wells, England trip with the choir. Unfortunately, I had to back out of that. And also T-Neck is not going to happen this summer. I'm really hoping that I can do it next summer. Really looking forward to doing some playing. But yeah, sometimes, just stuff kind of comes your way, and that's unexpected, and you just change your plans. Lots of taking it easier with the family. So we're, we do a lot at the pool. We've been to the township pool a lot so far this summer, just in the last couple of weeks.
That's
the
good.
Kids really enjoy it. They get to see their friends there from school, and they have little rec day camps in the morning, recreational department camps.
We're dipping our toe in the water with that too this summer. So TJ's going to start on Monday.
What are you doing with TJ this summer? I know you guys are at the beach right now, but what's the plan?
Well, he's going to do rec camp half day, right here in town in the mornings. We're going to try it, starting on Monday for the next 2 weeks. And if he likes it, they said, he can sign up for the rest of the summer, because we did a little beach time. We're going to be home a few weeks. We're going to do a little more beach time. So they said after we get back from our second vacation, they can he can just jump in and come back if he wants. So,
oh, that's great.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And
that leaves you some time in the afternoon. What are you do belong to a pool or just hanging out around Boonton? What's going on?
Yeah, my parents joined the town pool in North Caldwell, so we're going to take TJ over there. We did it once. He had a great time, so it's nice. So, that's we have a lot of little things, especially since in September, Tom's going to be teaching in a different school district. So,
oh yes,
I know, we're so excited for him.
Big exciting news.
Big news. So, you all met my husband Tom. He came on the podcast and talked about small schools and what he does. And he has right now a really one-horse town kind of job, pre-K to 3, general music, 4 through 8 band and jazz band, a big job in a small district. So he's now going to be teaching middle school band, and he's moving over to Essex County, and we're super excited for him. And that, with that comes a lot of transition for us this summer. TJ's school doesn't open early enough for us, so we're going to have to pick a new school for TJ in September for pre-K, going on the new health plan and transitioning him out of his old building into his new, stuff. It's just, a lot of little things this summer. All of a sudden,
that's a big change, big news.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, for some of our listeners who might be on the younger side and, maybe, are not, married or have kids or anything like that, and are kind of just dealing with their own stuff. It's a big enough change when you have that, but then when you change jobs and you've got a family, that's also involved, it's big. It creates a lot of changes.
Yeah. So we're just kind of, we don't have a ton planned besides our beach vacations this summer. 'Cause like I said, it is going to be a big transition for us. We want to make sure everybody's ready. He's going to have to do, after 12 years of teaching, he's going to have to do new teacher orientation, and he's going to not have tenure in September. And, it's a whole other layer of things that, you take it as it comes. So, we've got those dates blocked out, at the end of August, and so that's what we got going on.
Well, good luck to him and good luck to you all.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's a big change for everybody.
It's a big change. So, but we're so excited. It's a, great district, and I'm sure, we'll have him on eventually again to tell you more about it, but yay.
So anything else, or is that kind of the plan for the summer, is to, take it easy, do small things, and then get all the transition taken care of?
I think that's it. I mean, for us on the podcast, we do still owe you a trumpet and French horn episodes at our starting off right series. But
Jen had to get her paper done.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, and it's done. And I have the actual printed, manuscript now. Woohoo! And you can find me on ProQuest and Google Scholar. It's all out there. So,
awesome.
And I've commenced. I am officially a graduate of William Patterson University.
Nice.
So.
Oh, so proud of you, Jen. That's amazing stuff.
Yeah,
and I know you worked really hard on that.
Yeah, it was a lot. But and thanks for running with it, Eric. That was a big thing. And I hope our listeners got a lot out of those episodes, because that's what it's about.
Well, Jen and I haven't done a lot of planning yet as far as season 3. We have a lot of ideas.
Yeah, we do, but we haven't.
Yeah, we've got some different things that we might end up chatting about next year. We might talk about Airtable, which I am an evangelist for Airtable.
Yes, you are. Yep.
I know Jen has had some really cool ideas. Advocating for underserved students is something that we may touch on next season.
Mm-hmm. And, some of you requested a part 2, for our starting off right series. Okay, what do you do after you get the first sound? And, tips and tricks for building better sound. So, we'll try and make that happen for you, this next year. But
I know another one that I'm hoping maybe we get to do this year is one that actually I put together for my student teacher, Max. And that is, getting your finances in order when you're a new teacher, or even not a new teacher, but just trying to, teachers and finances don't always go hand in hand.
Right.
People are have their strengths and weaknesses, but that's something that I think maybe we could chat about for an episode and see what we come up with.
Yeah. Yep. And totally. I'm interested in that, though. I think a lot of people could benefit from that. So yeah.
And maybe I'm hoping we get to catch up with CJ again.
I know.
Hopefully early on in the school year, because I know they're going to be doing their senior student teaching now.
Yeah, big one this year. Yeah. So we'll see where CJ ends up, and But that's
CJ actually came and subbed for me while I was out.
That's true.
Toward the end of the year.
Yeah, and we were doing our instrument demonstrations at one of the schools that we looked up, and there was CJ in the back of the room. I was like, so that was a neat thing. So
yes, definitely.
So
who knows where we're going to go in season 3, Jen?
I know.
We'll just have to.
Lucky number 3. We're going to have to just roll with it. So
nice. So can I leave us with one suggestion / thing that I think our listeners might benefit from doing?
Okay.
Before we finish up,
let's hear it. Yep.
Okay. So and I posted about this on my personal Facebook and Instagram, and I think you could probably find it. I think I made it visible.
Okay.
But anyway, one thing that I know sometimes when you get in the grind as a teacher, it's a little difficult to lose that broader perspective, and you're just kind of thinking about the day to day. And especially if things are a little rough or difficult, it's really good to take a step back and remember the good stuff as well. And so one thing that I've been doing since, I don't know, probably 15 years ago is creating a note wall in my office or in my room. I don't know if everybody's able to do this, but every year a handful of kids write me some really nice notes, even if they're not long, or just thanks for being a great teacher or something like that. I really enjoyed band. And so what I've been doing is sort of posting them, tacking them up on my wall in my office, just as a reminder to me that what you're doing matters and is important to kids. And so if you haven't been doing that and you have the opportunity, highly recommended. Take those notes, even print out emails, things like that from parents, from kids, and just kind of keep them where you can see them. And if you don't have a wall, put them in a file folder somewhere and look at them once in a while, because it is good to keep that perspective that what you're doing matters and matters to kids.
I love that. That's so awesome. I have a drawer like that, or I did. And then I came back in September, and I think we mentioned this on a previous episode, but my desk was replaced.
Yeah.
And the drawer where I kept all those things it got lost with my old desk when they, traded out my desk. Yeah. But I'll build it back up. I'll build up a couple of those keepers. That's really nice. That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah.
So yeah. And so to all of you, that get to take a little bit of a summer break before you start, marching band and everything in the fall. Thank you for a great season 2. And, we hope you have an awesome and refreshing summer.
Yes. Well deserved. Well deserved.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You worked hard this year, Eric. So.
Oh yeah. You too, Jen.
Uh-huh.
This was a year.
Yep. And it really was. And, to our listeners, if you have ideas for season 3, because we're still pulling it together, feel free to reach out on social media. We're here, Facebook, Instagram, and you can see our lovely, shining, sun-kissed summer faces on YouTube now.
This is tan.
I got a little color, it's happening. So, hop on and let us know what you want to hear next, because we're definitely open to your suggestions.
And if you're new or you're an old listener, but you haven't yet rated and reviewed us on your favorite podcast app, make sure you go and do that, because it helps other people find us who haven't yet. And we really appreciate it. Also, tell other people about us. If you have band director friends who haven't listened to Take a Cue yet, what are you waiting? Share the wealth.
Yep. There you go. And speaking of wealth, consider becoming. Just kidding.
That was great.
I'm on the transitions today. Consider becoming a monthly supporter. There's a link in our show notes about how to do that. It goes right back into what we're up to here on Take a Cue.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Jen.
Okay, Eric.
Ready to splish splash?
I think so. Well, have a great summer, and let's get out there and make some great summer music.
Thank you.